everybody, welcome back to Reaper Pro Tips with me, your host, Ann, Disembodied Hands Queenie, Disembodied Beard John, and an earless Kurnico. Kodak! Overtime is canceled! I was wondering how, they hemorrhage money on that, right? I was like, how long can this company really keep doing this? I'm really happy that you maybe can get back to, your walking and your painting and your writing and your everything. I'm so happy for you. Great! That's great news. It's totally happy. And Polly Schmozzle, there with the Prime sub for 33 months. That's a cool number. 33. Very nice. Very nice. I approve. Probably that's okay. Have fun with your insulation blower. I mean, it's bound to be fun, but messy and fraught too. Don't you have to wear a ventilation mask for that crap? I don't remember. It's been a long time. Been a long time. Hello, hello. All right. Last day on Ghost to Guy for a while. I made a commitment that Ghost Guy is going to go and have a timeout for a while. However, I do think I'm going to paint his cape in purple. I think he deserves a purple cape. And it needs to be pretty saturated because that green is pretty poppy. So let us grab... MSP 2.0 to the rescue. I think. Or did I not? Nope. The Monarch Purple was previously. Previously on MSP. I will have to grab my Monarch Purple from somewhere else, apparently. I know it's around here. The question is, where is it? Maybe I'll have to use old Monarch Purple. There's Imperial sticks. There we go. There's the new Monarch Purple. I knew I had it. So Monarch is probably the most saturated of the reddish purples, I'd say, as far as being a darker color. It's very easily highlighted by Runic Purple, just mixing the two together. Well, if you want to get a smooth highlight, though, because there is no white in this, no white at all, you will want to put a tiny bit of Runic into your Monarch if you want to do smooth layering. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want. Let us get our thingy down here. Oh, man, guys. I'm fighting the... Uh-oh. Dude fell off. That's okay. We need to paint your cape anyway, dude. I'm fighting the Hungries. The Hungries are terrible. Nobody likes the Hungries. They have no friends. Because I am now officially, working out 6 days a week. And before, for the several weeks before, toward the end of the year, I was kind of struggling with energy, so I often was only running 2 days a week and CrossFit 1 to 2 days a week. Now I'm doing the whole kabang, the whole thing. We're doing 2 days of CrossFit and 4 days of running. And I am struggling. I'm struggling to figure out what my calorie target should be. I ate over 2,000 calories yesterday, and I still woke up hungry at 6:30 this morning. So I think I have to swap around some macros, or just give it some time to settle, or something like that. Because apparently you can get pretty hungry after you first start a new thing. Even though this isn't really a new thing, but I'm working out more than I ever have in my entire life. My body is if this was my little 21-year-old body, it would be going, "What are you doing to me?" Like that. Alright, so Monarch is a really vibrant reddish purple. It's dark. It's a dark color. We're going to put 1 drop of Runic into it. Lizana, honestly, as long as I keep my carb levels up, I don't have an energy problem. And if I don't have an energy problem, then I enjoy running. It took me a while. Because, you don't enjoy running for the first month you do it. Maybe even the first 2 months you do it. But after you, if you ease into it with walking and then running, doing intervals like that, and if you run really slow, You will get to the point where you actually like it. Yeah. Yeah. What I found, Lizana, really, and this is a thing, and it really depends. I was on low carb for a long time. And that does not work when you start running. It wasn't even really working for CrossFit, if I'm honest. I had energy problems even like when I was doing that, and it just never crossed my mind that it was because my glycogen was depleted. I ate 250 grams of carbs yesterday, guys. That's 1,000 calories worth of carbs. And I feel actually pretty good today. Other than waking up early, I feel like I have energy. Yeah, I know. Some people, running is not for everybody. Just like CrossFit isn't for everybody. Just like lifting weights isn't for everybody. Just like any exercise form on the planet. If you tried to make me play soccer, I would hate it. Okay, but I like running because I'm a solitary kind of Ann, and it lets me get in my Zen zone. I did like, even though I was short on sleep because my sleep's been getting disrupted because hunger or by lack of carbs, I wasn't sure. I still did hill sprints yesterday and I enjoyed them. Which is just weird. It's just weird. Humans shouldn't enjoy that sort of thing. Yeah, but essentially, I don't know if you're already on a high carb diet, Lisana. A lot of people who run are, but I wasn't. And so for me, upping the carbs to that point made a huge difference in my energy. Huge. Yeah, and that's totally for sure. I think low carb, when you're not running, low carb is it. Like, I think you're absolutely 100% right there, Gilded Brush, because it deals with your hunger so well. Yeah, exactly. Well, you're lifting, though, so one I don't know, I guess, see, that's interesting to me, because, like, I couldn't figure out, like, how much, because glycogen's still depleted when you're lifting, right? So it's a hard call there. Like, I suspect every single person is different with this. Oh, you barely move? Yeah. Yeah, and that's the thing is, in order to get the energy to move, you gotta start moving. Like, just walking. Yeah. The struggle is real. No, I was there with you. Like, I used to weigh 246 pounds. I got down to 160 on keto, and now I'm at 170 doing what I'm doing now. And I'm hoping to get down to 160 over the next several months and hit it again. Yeah, but the thing that really moved the needle for me, Lisana, is just making yourself take a short walk after meals. Like, just short. If you're not used to moving at all, honestly, just tell yourself, whatever lowers the bar enough. Just tell yourself, I'm just going to do 2 minutes. You know, honest to God. And once you're doing the 2 minutes, you probably can do 5, right? And just start out with that. Just start out with that. Be nice to yourself, don't overdo it. And then just slowly add on a few more minutes, you know, work up to a 10-minute walk after a meal. If you only have time for 5 minutes after a meal, like if you're at work, then just do the 5. But anything is better than nothing. Seriously, anything is better than nothing. Walking can be a huge game changer. Yeah, I got down to 160 when I was on the keto diet. I was only walking. That's the only exercise I did, and I dropped a ton of weight. I dropped 60 pounds. So, yeah, thanks, Lisana. Yeah, I'm hoping to look even better at next ReaperCon. But yeah, right now it's just, the other thing I do is I use Macro Factor. So I do track what I eat, because I find that if I don't track, then it's all over. I'm not going to lose weight. But that's just me. And again, different people, different folks, different strokes, right? So that's another thing you might consider is, and again, you can start with baby steps there. You can start with just tracking like one meal, you know, and just getting kind of a feel for how much you eat, and then add in, you know, start tracking a snack. You know, it never has to be all or nothing. We are so bad. We humans are so bad with all or nothing thinking. We're so terrible about it. But you just start slow. It's like when I started running, I was honestly running slower than I could walk. I was running like 17-minute, 30-second miles. Like, I could have walked faster than that. But I was trying to run and essentially prove to myself that I could run and feel good. And once I could do that, then that built confidence, and I worked from there. But yeah, I started with walking. Yeah, exactly. And it has to seem doable. If it's not doable, you won't do it. It's that simple. Like, it really is. And it's like, and it's taken me forever. Like, it's taken me to this point in my life to understand, no, Anne, you need to change one thing at a time. So right now, I'm just going to stick to this 2,000 calories a day. I'm going to track what I'm eating, and I'm going to keep doing the same stuff I've been doing. And I'm just going to give it time to settle in and see if I just maintain weight, if I'm still losing weight because I'm burning more calories than I eat. I don't know, right? I might mess around with putting like a hard-boiled egg as my last snack of the day because the protein and fat maybe will keep me full nicer overnight. That's worked for me in the past, right? And that's the other thing. If you can, keep track of what works for you and write it down. Put it somewhere. Even if it's a sticky note that you slap on your fridge or your journal or your whatever. Because that's the thing that I found like would have helped me a lot more if I would have kept track earlier of what actually worked for me. Instead, it's taken me years of this. And you know what? If it does take you years, you know what? You're still better off. Like, I was watching a video by a 50-year-old lady who was 250 pounds, and she just ran her first 100-mile race. Like, no shit. She walked a lot of it, but she ran it. She ran a lot of it. And she was like, the thing that got her going was she's like, you know what? It hit me that in 5 years, you know, if I did nothing, those years were still going to pass, right? She's like, and I realized if I did something, if I tried to do something, then at least I would be better off after those 5 years had passed, instead of sitting in the same place wishing I had done something. So that's good. Like, actually what I've seen is between 11 and 15% calorie deficit, Gildan, is the best. Because if you go over 15%, then you tend to get the hungries. And if you go less, then your progress is just too slow and you get frustrated. I mean, if you're eating a 200,000 or a 2,000 calorie diet, 200,000, we wish we could eat 200,000 calories. It'll be all cookies. But if you're on a 2,000 calorie diet, like 10% is like 200. If you're at a 250 calorie deficit, is half a pound a week, right? So, yeah. Yeah, that's the you can't out eat you can't out exercise a bad diet. But you know what? Almond croissant is only a bad diet if you're eating, you know, if you're overeating for the day. And even then, actually, I was watching a video the other day that made a lot of sense to me, which is that your body actually isn't a day-to-day body. Your body more tracks like over the course of like a week, as it looks at trends, right? Your body is more conscious of what you're doing every day, not just this day. So that made a lot more sense to me. And it means that if it kind of takes the pressure off, because it means if I eat a little bit more one day, I eat a little bit less the next day, and overall the body's going to average it out. Now, Monarch Purple, let's get back to painting. But good luck, Lisanna. I'm sure you can do it. Just remember, little changes, and you'll be better off at least than if you never did it, right? Just little changes. Don't demand too much of yourself. The world demands a lot of us, and it has no right to. So, and if it doesn't feel good, stop doing it. If you ever start to like hurt after like walking and stuff, then think about maybe stretching or, you know, doing something like that too. That all counts. All counts. Anyway, so Monarch's big problem is that it's very see-through. I did add the runic purple, but then I thinned it, and I probably could have not done that, but I'm just going to go with this. I'm just going to see how many coats it takes me to build up a decent layer of Monarch. And Monarch, really, I often use it for glazing and for shading because it's see-through, but this time I wanted a more saturated purple, so I'm going to use this as my base coat. But yeah, I probably shouldn't have thinned it as much as I did. I believe in you, Lisanna. Yeah, the walking after meals is like the biggest thing. Just a short walk. It's actually what they tell people with diabetes, too, is to walk after your meals because it helps to stabilize your blood sugar, even a short walk. And the other thing, the last thing I'll leave you with, Lisanna, is if you can't walk after a meal, if you miss it, don't worry about it. Just walk after the next meal. Honestly, like, there are days when, a lot of days actually, the lunch meal is my hard one because after lunch I'm primed and I really want to get to work. So it's really hard for me to take a walk after lunch. And so if I don't get it and I do it at 3 instead or something, like I don't give myself a hard time. If I don't do it at all, I don't give myself a hard time. I just try to do breakfast and supper. Like, again, something is better than nothing. We always want to beat ourselves up. We're very quick to beating ourselves up, and we shouldn't be. All right. Enough about weight loss, but still. I hope I can tame the hungries. Like, if it weren't for the hungries, I would feel so good right now. I feel like my energy issues were actually carb glycogen related, and glycogen is what is how your muscles store carbs, as opposed to fat cells. But I feel like if you have low glycogen, you can have low energy. So it seems to be working. And if I could just figure out the sleep part of the equation, I'd have it. I'll get there. I have faith. Oh, I can't do that, Gilded. I can't do that. Like, I won't fall asleep. I'll just sit there. Because as a postmenopausal female, I find it hard enough to sleep. So I have to eat enough of a meal for supper that 3 hours later, I'm going to still be okay. Like, I gotta. I can't sleep when hungry. Yeah, it's terrible. I don't know how you do it, man. That's so, it's just like, man, I just can't. Like, okay, if I was exhausted, like if I was like, you know, starving on a desert island somewhere and it was just like being hungry was my new normal, I'm sure I could, but not with my current lifestyle. And to be fair, I don't go to bed. I'm usually not hungry when I go to bed. I usually have some peppermint tea, and that helps to keep it balanced. Yeah, almond croissants are delicious. It is one of my favorite pastry items. I will give it to you. Maybe not my all-time favorite pastry item because I've discovered the everything flavor croissant, which is like everything bagel flavored. I really love it. Sometimes I just want a savory croissant. And then there's the passion fruit Danish that our local bakery makes in the summer. That's super awesome. Got a little bit too much paint in here, so I'm going to take some of it off while it's still wet. Be careful about this, because as it starts to dry... But I am getting a nice, for the most part, pretty even coat, except for where it's pooling, so I'm going to pull it off a little. Alright, purple cape. While we do that, we'll mix up some blue so we can start working on NMM while we work on this cape. Oh, being a night owl, yeah. Oh, no, yeah, you're gonna be hungry, for sure. Why around 5? Have you thought about eating a little later? Or maybe just having a snack later? 5 seems really early for supper, but I know some people do it. I'm a 6 to 7 p.m. supper person. Somewhere in there. Usually 6:30. We're done by 7-ish. If we eat late, we're done by 7:30-ish, which we go to bed around 10:30, so 3 hours, that's good. But yeah, I'd be hungry too if I had to wait that long. I'd have to have a snack at like 8. All right, sit, stay. And let's get out our blue liner and do some armor. Man, this is all going to be a pain in the butt. Hey there, Ashen Jedi, how's it going? We're working on Undead Horsey Guy, so that's why he's in 2 pieces. I think I'm going to do the armor on his legs just for fun. And we're just going to get his... Once the cape is dry, I'll put another layer on it. Yeah, I could definitely not do that. But again, everybody's body's different. What works for you is different, right? When I was really restricting calories, the thing I would do is the last thing that I would have at night would be either a hard-boiled egg or a fried egg. And that would usually like keep me from, like, it was it would keep me at pretty stable blood sugar because there was 0 carbs in it, and it would make me essentially assuage my hunger overnight. Might have to go back to that. Oh, I see. Both hungry by then. Yeah, yeah. If you're on low carb, you could consider, if you like hard-boiled eggs, you could do even deviled eggs. Yeah. Yeah, well, make them into deviled eggs, and then the boiled eggs are even tastier. Especially if you use, like, avocado oil mayo or something that's so tangy. Yeah. Yeah, the eggs are my go-to. Like, I've just had, like, before surgery, like, if the last thing, when I would have to fast overnight, I would always do an egg as my last thing, and it would usually help me from getting completely hangry. Yeah, you can make eggs pretty tasty with a little bit of effort. Even if you don't use very much mayo, you could do mustard and mayo for the deviled egg and just use less mayo and not have it be as fatty. And it would still be tasty. All right, so we're adding, here's our blue liner, here's our blue liner plus white. So we're gonna pop that in. Yeah, I think eggs, I'm a very pro egg person, so I think they're tasty. There's my water. Yeah, I'm gonna switch up my evening. Oh no, too much water in the blue liner. Oh, well, we're just gonna try to transfer some of that over. Instead of putting a drop of water in this other one, I'm just gonna try to slurp the water out of this. There we go. That feels like it might be okay. Disaster averted? Only experimentation will tell. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. And I successfully slurped most of the water into the other well. Slurping being a total technical term. Alrighty. I think I added a little white to his blue liner armor anyway. But we'll make a new well over here with more white. And then we'll start blocking in. Oh, good. Yeah, I thought they were enjoyable. I didn't finish... I think I didn't finish... I finished the first 2, and I thought they were good. I liked them a lot. I'm glad she liked them. Ah, yeah. I actually have started subbing Greek yogurt for my sour cream. I actually find I like it a little bit better because I love sour cream on baked potatoes. I don't use that much, but the Greek yogurt has such a similar flavor and it's even tangier, so I think I might like it a little bit better. I'm not trying to go super low fat, but because I don't believe in it. I think that a healthy level of healthy fats is good. All right, I think we can put another layer on that cape and then we can start. We've got a good start here. I'll get my white mixed up as well. Let's take a look. Oh, we're still a little wet on the cape. All right, we'll mix up our white. It's that I had the attention span of a gerbil when I was young, Bryce. So I ended up with a lot of different special abilities. I definitely became the jack of all trades. I did not take the specialist path on my my learning in my life. I started working on I had picked up a little model that I thought I might paint for Golden Demon if I thought that Lion might not get done this year. Bryce, and I got him primed, the first part of him primed last night. I'm really excited. He's one of the Zinch models for fantasy. I'm excited to paint him. I think he's super cool. So Lion will be my kind of long-term project since he's so intensive. But at least I think I can get this little Sangor shaman guy done before GD this year. So yeah, you like the yogurt switch too? Good. Glad to know it works. Alrighty. So let us see what we got. Man, all this armor is so crazy. So crazy. Where do you even start, right? Right? Alright, well. Let's see. I'm dry enough that I can do this, I think. Oh, took a bit off. Man, it's like taking forever to dry today. Alright, I'm going to stick this guy back on his horse so I can work on him without touching the cape. And if I peg his little arm in, actually I'll put a little sticky tack down on it. We'll get his waist glued down with blue tack, and then he will sit a lot nicer. Let me fetch him. Hold on. He's one of those bird demon guys. He also is on, this is just his top part. I like him because his helmet makes him look like a beast man. He's actually got a bird, kind of a beaky head, and he's got feathers. His feathers are so cool back here. But he's like a Tzeentch sorcerer kind of guy. And he flies on a disc of Tzeentch. But I at least wanted to get started on him, so I primed that part of him last night. I haven't cleaned up the whole disc yet. Anyway, I haven't given up on getting a lion done, but if I end up, because he's a very big model, like he's got a lot of parts, let's face it. No, he's gonna have two. He started a really awesome zombie dragon. Yeah, I really like this Angor Shaman, he's cool. He started a zombie dragon, but he's not gonna try to get that done, Bryce. So he said he'd have two this year. Yeah, the Sangors are really cool. David's gonna have, I'm trying to remember what he's gonna have his Old World and Necromunda, I think, depending on what the categories look like. Hopefully they won't be the same. Usually they have a Specialist Games one for the Necromunda stuff. And Old World is its own thing. So I think he's going to have the Dragon Empress lady for his Old World model. And Cal Jericho for his Necromunda. Alright, let's see if that sticky tack will get this guy to stay on. There we go. That feels better. Alright. Yeah, I think that's all he's aiming to do. He was a little burned out after pushing so hard for last year. And let's get this in focus. There. But yeah, he was in focus. He was definitely burned out after last year, so he didn't want to go so crazy this year. We did finalize our flights last night, and our car and everything, so we've got our hotel a long time ago. I have to get a badge, but otherwise, we are ready for Adepticon. We have the dog sitter, we have the everything. So I'm going to take my lighter blue-gray, and I'm just going to kind of put, I'm looking at where the light is hitting the armor from my lamp that's right above the model. And on a cylindrical surface, that's going to be more of a vertical highlight. It's going to follow the light. Yeah, he's less thrilled with his Necromunda piece. But I think it looks nice. We'll see. But yeah, he likes his Dragon Lady. He's still working on her. Got flights and badge, working on hotel today. Yeah, good luck. Fingers crossed. I think we're at the Pfizer or something like that. Pfizer? Something like that. That the hotel is a PF name. I'm gonna Uber in. Oh, you're gonna stay out farther. Okay, yeah, we got a hotel within walking distance. I guess that's probably all sold out at this point. Alright. And then here on the lower leg, there isn't a lot of light. Maybe a little bit up here. And then here. here. This is going to be a rounded surface because it's the rounded toe part. So just kind of getting some highlights figured out there. Yeah, I think David booked hotel early enough that we were able to get something close. So we got a car anyway because we're we're going to see my family while we're there. They're thinking about coming up and actually like meeting us at the con. But if not, they're a 45-minute drive south, so we'll definitely be spending some time with my fam since they're right there. All sold out, yeah. Not surprised. Yeah, I got on David pretty early about hotel, so luckily we got what we needed. Just putting a little bit of a reflected light bit down there, a little bit darker. I'll be raising up all these highlights a bit, but not quite yet. So yeah, first thing was just to kind of take a look at where the light was actually falling when I held it up under my light source, and to kind of block in those things. And now we're going to narrow down. Since these plates are curved, it's curved around a leg, and the leg is a cylinder, right? If we break it into, the thigh is a cylinder, the calf is a cylinder. Yeah, you also want to meet family. Cool. Oh, meet my family? Haha! My family are not nerds. My family are jocks. Well, Mom likes to do art. We'll see. They may just stay down. They may decide not to come up. It just depends. Depends on how their schedules work out and everything. We may drive down instead and have dinner with them, but... Oh, that's way too thick. So when you start putting on lights and you can just see the brush marks, then it's like, oh, my white is too strong, folks. Too strong. So I'm going to do a mix of the white and the blue-gray. And I'm going to make that highlight thinner. I definitely messed up the shape of it, though. It needs to have the border on either side. But yeah, I would like to have one model for a GD. I'm not stressed out about it. I don't expect your family is also jacked. I have not retouched base with them at that. That with the original plan was that I would be there to promote MSP 2.0, but I doubt. Like, if the Kickstarter is going by then, or has gone by then, and if it's still open to pledges and stuff, then I could totally see volunteering at the booth a bit. I definitely still want to have time. Like, I don't want to be tied down to the booth, like, all the time. I would be happy to sit and paint and chat with the Reaper peeps and hang out and talk to people about 2.0 for a good part of the con, because I don't really have any like other commitments at the con other than entering my GD and getting my getting to the award ceremony. But if my family are coming up, that'll constrain me a little bit more. So I'm kind of going to play it by ear. I'll retouch base with Ron when we're a little closer, back when we maybe have a better idea of... Yeah, I'll have to shrink this highlight probably. This is very broad. And the bigger the highlight is, the more it's going to change the look of the color of the armor. So if I want the color to stay dark, then I'm going to need to narrow down this highlight and make it smaller. But I'll block it in, then I'll start bringing it down. But yeah, I'd be happy to paint at the booth for a bit, though. Or hang out. It gives me somewhere to like go, and I never have a problem talking about Master Series, so I'll even use a wet palette just so I can show people how dry they have to keep their wet palette to use this paint. More water in the white. If Ron puts me to work. I don't know who goes to the cons. Does Ron go? I mean, Ed used to. He enjoyed it. But I think it's because he got to see all his pals and hobnob with the industry people. There we go. So we're narrowing down that now. I brought in some of the darker and I pushed the highlights a little more narrow. It starts to look tighter, more shiny. I'm just happy you'll be there. We can hang out. Like, David and I usually suffer through not being part of the main cliques, you know, of the main, like, UK people and stuff. So we kind of sit there on the outskirts and nobody, like, knows who we are. So it would be good to, good to hang with. Because, you know, David is more current than I am. I don't think anybody in the UK scene, like, even remembers who Ann Forster is, so. And I'm fine with that. But it means we don't have, like, a group to hang out with. Ed and John and a couple others. Or it wouldn't have been Ed because Ed was passed. Dave. It would be Dave. So Dave actually went. That's interesting. Dave was never the big hobby person. It was always Ed. My cape is taking forever to dry. Thanks, cape. No thanks. I have to smooth out the problem there. Just going to put some white over it and paint it over with the purple. You're not dumb. You just forgot. Well, great. We can all sit together and be the unknown quantities. But yeah, I would super be happy to hang out with you at the con. We can meet to go over the Golden Demon entries and guesstimate who's gonna take it. But yeah, I have I've got no big dog in the race this time. I'm entering for fun. I'm entering just so I have something, so that when I'm hanging out with David and other painter people, if they say, hey, do you have an entry? I can say, yes, that one. That's pretty much why I want to enter. Like, I don't expect to go anywhere with it, but I've always found it, in my previous Golden Demon time, I always found it useful to just go and see what the competition looked like and see the models in person. Because you see a lot more, you can judge a lot more easily, like, when you see the model in person. And so I'm treating this, even though I've gone before, since it came back to the States, I'm treating this as my year to just enter, assess the competition. I'm not trying to bring it with a capital B. I just want to relax and have fun. Like, I'm really to that point in my career with painting. I want to relax and have fun. And entering competitions, for me, is fun. Yeah. Oh, have you been actually, doing Reaperland, Michael? I haven't been keeping up. I hope you can actually, like, keep things onto an outline, Michael. Reaper stream needs structure. Oh, painting for an hour. Nice. Yeah, streaming is fun. That's why I'm here. So we're taking a lighter one, and we're a lighter color. We're going to hit this little edge. And then I am going to get a little bit of more light down here. Reflected light. Any reflected light on the inside of the leg is actually going to be green because of the glow. So. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good, Michael. That sounds great. Well, you've got 3 months, Bryce. Which, considering the size of your entry, is a lot. But just try to keep it chill. Relax. I know that's horrible, right? Maybe it doesn't work for you. Oh, yeah, of course. Because they want to come and steal our demons. That's why we need to bring it. Like, that's why US needs to start really, like, stepping up. I get really, like, I'm chill, right? I want to have fun with my painting. But I get a bit irked when those Europeans think that they're just going to come over and get easy demons at our show. Like, the US needs to start bringing it. Where is Team USA? Come on. I get feisty about this stuff. Yeah, David's going to do his dragon next year, I think. David's just super happy that I'm coming. Like, at first he was like, oh, why? I wanted to skip Adepticon this year. And now he's like, I'm so happy you're coming to Adepticon. I knew he'd come around. All right. Kiki, that is enough. Come on now. Come here. Keeks, come on. Settle. Good girl. Shake it out. Yep, shake it out. Come here, you. You're fine. Just settle down, Kiki, or you're going to be in my office here and you're going to be quiet. One more chance. Yeah, David's dragon's going to be awesome. That's going to be quite the piece. That's going to be a potential Slayer winner. Like, it's going to be a lot of work, but I know my hubby. He can do it. He can win a Slayer sword. I want to be married to the Slayer sword winner. That's what I want. I'll tell him that. No pressure. Yeah, that makes sense, Bryce. That makes sense. Yeah, just remember that like tensing up isn't going to make it move faster, and to just kind of relax and enjoy the process as much as you can while still being productive. Because it's really, I mean, you wouldn't have gotten this far with this monster if it wasn't a labor of love. So try to rediscover your love for it. Or keep a hold of your love for it if you still have it. The other thing, I don't know if I might, it's not very Golden Demon-y, but I also, I might work in a priority system, working, emphasizing the models that are more central to make sure that they're done to a top level. Kiki, you're done! Enough! In here now! In here now! Yeah. Sad dog is sad, everybody. Sad dog is sad. So, I told you to be quiet and you didn't. That means you're stuck with Mama. Oh no, stuck with Mama. Oh no. Come here, you. She's like, she's hiding behind the screen. She's like, I was bad. Oh my god, really? I think, from what David said, I think everybody got in. Ask him. Send him a text. But he didn't mention anything about invites, so it was just they made a time for the award ceremony and people showed up. I do think it was standing room. Like, I think that there were people who were standing because there weren't enough chairs, but I don't think that it was over the top. So you see how we're kind of fuzzing out this this light? You have to sit with Mom. You'll live. How many other painters have their parents care enough to come to the Golden Demon Award ceremony, other than the young bloods? I think it's cool. Yeah, since David was there last year and I wasn't. David says that since I'm coming this year, it guarantees he won't win a demon. Since I wasn't there to see him win his first demons last year. He's like, now we've started the cycle where he's only going to win if I'm not there. I don't know, I'm looking forward to my little Sangor guy. Mostly it's that if I'm looking forward to painting any model, I need to just do that. Like, I'm really to the point where I'm like, I want to get my love of painting back. Like, I love it when I'm just kind of chilling and painting. And it's been too long that I've had, hovering on various stages of burnout. I'm going to get this top edge of this armor. I probably need a stronger white to get that, though. My white's so thin at this point that I'm not getting a nice sharp edge up here. But I will have a really narrow brush stroke with it, so I think I'll just deal and see. And I gotta get the lower part of that plate. I want to really see this line go down. Yeah, have fun with it again, exactly. Right, exactly. Like if we could both go and I win and he doesn't, then I'm just gonna giggle. I'm more in many ways, I am more competitive than David is. It's kind of funny. I just always tamp it down so hard with myself because I don't like it when I get over competitive. But I would giggle if I won and he didn't. Alright, so that leg is starting to look better. We still are a little wide there on the knee. Yeah, I did that for years, Gilded Brush, and that is how I got burned out. So, convincing myself that I wasn't in burnout when I was in burnout wasn't a very effective strategy. I really want to get back to the love, the absolute love. And I retouched that recently with this little Sangor model when I took some time to just work on him one day when I finished my Patreon stuff early. And it just felt really good to go back there and just puddle around with him when I was cleaning the mold lines. And I know Quindy prep is terrible, but I was enjoying it. Sorry. Just futzing around with him. I actually felt the most relaxed and happy I'd felt in a while. And I was like, all right, I have to make time for this. And there has to be no strings attached. Like, even if it's a Golden Demon model, it needs to not have, like, an absolute I must get this done on it. Like, I need to just not do it. Yeah, I know, Gillibrush. Yeah, the one reason you don't play anymore because you get over competitive, yeah. Yes, for sure. Yeah, they are good deadline inducers, that's for sure, Julie. That's even if you never plan to win anything, it's really useful if you have trouble finishing. Using them as a deadline is a very useful way to use them. But yeah, I think it's just I'm really I just getting a little bit of time for myself to paint most days of the week, just little, even if it's only half an hour, just to kind of sit and put my music on and sing along, or I used to do that a lot when I was single after my divorce. I would just like hang out in the evenings and put on my music and sing along while I was painting. Was one of my happier times, happier things. So, Yeah, just getting a little bit of the love back is on my agenda for this year. Because then I'll start finishing things for competition again. I think it just all got... It all just became one giant to-do list for a while there for the last few years. And so the most success I had with finishing things was for you guys on stream on Saturdays, right? But now I think I'm getting to a little bit of a healthier mindset, and so if I can make that jump to enjoying just spending the time myself. No, I mean, that's what originally, oh yeah, you feel like you can shut your brain off more. Yeah, just relax. Yep. Yeah. No, the Zen state is why it makes it such a great hobby. Because so many of us like need that in our lives. Because we've got so much crazy stuff going on or crazy people around us. So I'm bringing in the blue liner again. I'm darkening this down. I want to keep the dark of the armor. Yeah, you really made a lot of progress, Julie. After many years of you and Bob like collecting paints and hearing you say you wanted to get back into it, to see you actually like getting back into it is really happy for me. I'm going to actually darken up the inside here a bit. There we go. Tightening. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Because here on the inside, I want the green glow of the horse to be hitting the armor for sure. So... So this plate is kind of curved as well, so I'll take some highlight here and just kind of make a little bit of that got a little bit thick. Gonna have to thin down that light blue. But I'll do a quick wet blend to try to get this color kind of spreading out there. Always felt guilty if you weren't sculpting. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, likewise. That's always like if I'm not working on Patreon or I'm not working on writing the next book, you know. But I need miniature painting to be what it used to be for me. I need the detox. Like at this point, I realize that I really need that the miniature painting hobby needs to become what it always used to be for me, which was a nice escape from the rest of my to-do list for just a little while. Or either that or I'm going to whip up into burnout again. And I'm just so sick of burnout. I would like to have a burnout-free life for the rest of my life if I can manage it. Like, I'm willing to work toward this at this point. Let's see, this plate goes back here, so I want to kind of get the edge so it stands out. Yeah, I like not doing your homework, yeah. And I think I'm going to have to do a bit of a green glow there too. But yeah, with dialing in the rest of my life and getting it all, like getting the writing going and like getting the running going and doing the painting and the Patreon, like I want my miniature painting hobby to be the relaxation refuge that it used to be. Yeah, starting to creep up on you with streaming. Yep. Not everything needs to be content. Right. Yeah, it's easy to get caught in that trap. Yep. It was just I was so burned out on painting for so long that the only way I could do it was to like do it as part of a stream or something. Like I just didn't have the oomph to do it. So I'm hoping that this latest trend of thinking about painting and then really being happy to paint or to work with models is going to last for a bit. Oh, sorry, getting there. Trying to get this little plate figured out here. Oh, it's totally possible to be chaotic and chaotic organized. Yeah, there's a balance, right? Yeah, because I do like, I mean, I like to chat while I paint. It's just something I've gotten so used to, right? But I also love my alone Zen time, which I think is why I've carved out a little bit of time during the day when David isn't home to paint, and that makes a difference. I'm very much a solitary Anne in many ways. I need my me time. So we're going to round out this highlight here a little bit. Girl. But yeah, I think balance is the key word in what you said, Gildebrush, because it really is like, you got to get the work done, but, you know, hopefully the work that you have to do is work that you can get done without too much like crazy stress and push, because overwork is just going to burn out too. Having a balance between being able to get things done during the day or at night whenever you work, but also having the time to relax and enjoy the hobby. It's such a hard balance. I mean, this is why so many people can't make their hobby into a job without losing their love of the hobby, right? But I've always believed I could have both. I've always believed I could, and now I'm kind of putting that to the test. Yes, added cats, totally. I think the cats, I mean, SSC needs a fan club. I mean, having him have his own online community couldn't possibly go wrong. That's starting to look okay. Starting to develop now, guys. That's like streaming gold, what Kuro is describing, I think. The title could be Chaos Cats Mini Painting. Now some of this under highlight probably needs to be green again. Reflected light. Man, my purple just did not want to dry for forever. I think I need to add another drop of paint to that. Ah, that was the wrong drop of paint, Anne. Oop. try to get another layer of purple on this. This time I'm keeping it a little thicker. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, I was just thinking about, like, I have these beautiful, I bought the starter armies of Sisters of Battle and Tyranids, right? Bought the Leviathan box and everything. And I'm like, I was just thinking last night, it sounded like kind of fun to like start working on one of those. And that thought hasn't crossed my mind for possibly years. So hopefully I'm starting to turn it around a bit. Because I would like to paint some of those Sisters of Battle. Those could end up Golden Demon entries too. And the Tyranids. There aren't ever enough Tyranids at Golden Demon. Ever. There we go. Get a more solid purple on here. It's funny, we started on this and then it took all stream to get the purple to dry to the point where we could get the color on there evenly. Yeah, there's been a Hive Tyrant calling me for a while, Kodiak. I wanted to sacrifice a couple of Tyranids from that box to be for Lion L. Johnson's base, because it'll let me paint Tyranids even if they're dead. But yeah, I would like to purple, very purple, very Skeletor. This is totally just Skeletor on Ghosty Horse. Who am I kidding? Yeah. Well, first they need to get painted. I started some Termagants just to work out the color scheme. But they have been sadly languishing. Poor little Termagants. You know, I'll get to it. I need to cultivate this loving painting feeling again. Maybe the fact that my energy levels have been better lately, maybe that'll help too. Okay, we're going to pop up some white highlights here. Yep, Skeletor on... He's Skeletor. He may as well be Skeletor. Come on. But yeah, I just need to kind of, you know, like cuddle with my little happy painting feeling and make sure that it feels loved and sticks around. And then I can maybe start making progress on those things. Because I always say, I have so many beautiful models. Yes. You can hear the cackle in your head. Yeah, he's totally a Skeletor. Look at him. Skeletor with Ghosty Horse Friend. Okay. We can continue with this, at least the purple cape is purple now. Continue with this armor debacle. Oof, the torso. Oof, everybody. Look at this torso, it's insane. Alright, well, let's take our light. I'm taking my my lighter of my blues, like my blue liner with quite a bit of white in it, and I'm just pretty much gonna start popping in light. It's pretty bright up here. droop right up here. And then it starts to fade here. A bit there, a little bit there. I'm just looking at it under the light, and I'm honestly just taking this light blue gray and I'm dabbing it in the areas where I see the light concentrating on this blue armor. And really, almost everything up on here is all in the light. We'll work with that. Hey there, Richard. Good to see you. Like you need any more paint, I know, right? I feel that. That said, today I should be able to finally play with those velvets. It's on my list. Playing with the velvets is on my list. I'm going to finish a quick public PDF for the Patreon. Which is just for people who want to start with MSP and who are coming from other paint lines. And who want to start with trying out some MSP 1.0 since 2.0 isn't out yet. So it'll be quick. There we go. So we've got those lights kind of figured in there. And actually the top part of this as well, this top part of this kind of waist section also is going to get light. There we go. That looks good. Alright, so now I've kind of gotten in just a rough block. That's where the light is, right? Hey, Matthew. Nice, Laura. Very nice. Yay, shelving. Well, if they've got more paint sets out there than 1 and 2, then obviously the John Blanche sets have done well for them. That's great. Now I can mix that light blue with a bit of white and start bringing up a little bit too. I can also take my shadow color, the blue liner, straight up blue liner, and darken down some areas if they need it. That got a little bit too overdone, so now we're going to wet blend a little bit. A little better. Did they, is the new Vallejo Metallics an aluminum flake? That seems to be what everybody and their dog is doing now. Or did they just put out more colors? I guess Kuro can't hear me. Anybody else know? The metals. Or maybe Kuro just means new metallics for her. So they're not new, but they're new to her. Just trying to get that highlight kind of popped in there. Oh, I don't think I actually have seen that model. Now I have to type it in because it's got so much stuff. Boop, boop, boop. Kushala. Dora. Oh. Oh, Elder Dragon. From Oh, from Monster Hunter. Model. I should look up. Alright. How about images? Oh, yeah, there you go, guys. Look at that. Ooh, on the cool draconic precipice too. Yeah. Oh, I like these colors. Look at somebody did it reddish. Oh, no featured offers. Oh, 2 options from $700, guys. Maybe there's a different one. Oh, out of stock. Steam Forged. Out of stock, out of stock. So out of stock, everybody. No dragon for me. No dragon for me, guys. Sad. That's okay, I don't need a distraction. Tyranids are just bugly dragons. Who knows? If I can keep cultivating energy and love, maybe eventually I will work on my own like project that I've always felt would be Slayer worthy for Golden Demon, which is a Tyranid project. The fact that this idea still lives in my head 30 years after I first thought of it is proof that I need to do it. But I need to have a lot of love in order to do it. It's going to take a lot of love. Yeah, Slayer Sword is GD's best in show. There are times that kind of wonky models win, like the skink that won the first US one. But usually it's got to be a big showpiece model with at least a little bit. Usually there's either a little bit of conversion or you've got a big display base. But yeah, I've always had this idea that I wanted to execute on. I do. My love of Tyranids still burns bright years later. So we'll see. And I've never seen anyone else do this particular idea. So who knows? Maybe next year. Maybe not next year because David's going to have Zombie Dragon next year. I don't want to go up against my husband for top level. That would be my competitive streak could not stay civil with that. So yeah, so it's gonna be 2 years at least, Bryce, until I whip out my my Tyranid big project, right? Maybe I'll tell you next time we hang out. Yeah, Tyranids are fun, and they so seldom have a really cool one at Golden Demon. But I think it can be done. Just popping in some white. Since my white is so thin, I'm keeping it very little bit on my brush. I do want it to kind of converge on this light area of the chest though. Which, oh, I totally missed which modules you're talking about. Dragonlance, Richard, you mean? I actually adapted the first module to D&D 4.0 and ran it for friends. So I was always very fond of that module. Yeah, original. Oh, I didn't realize they brought it back. I should have. Because dragons are in. But yeah, you should totally try to do that, Richard. See if anybody bites. It would be a huge undertaking, but it would be super cool. So I'm trying to focus light up here on the breastplate, which is just going to draw more attention to the face up here, which already stands out, thankfully, because it's very glowy and green. Because Skeletor be styling there with his glowy green self. Oh man, I know. I'm glad I didn't see that. WizKids just does not do great dragons. Just does not. For the scale, most of the shine is kind of going. You can see very little light gets through to this on the scale armor here. So we're going to do what we did with the rest of the armor here. We're going to grab my light blue gray. Let me get a bunch of it. And we're going to paint it over the area that we think is going to be the highlighted. Just over all the scales. And probably we got some under reflection down here. Yeah, there. Probably hit the edge a bit. There. And when you just block in a bunch of like kind of that paler color, then you take your, in my case, blue liner, the dark color, and you can bring it in to bring out details. So like I can line around these little scales in the scale mill armor to make sure that they show up if I want to, if I feel like I've lost some of the definition and want some of it. Or I can go the opposite way and just highlight them further with pure white or a color that's close to it. But yeah, baby steps right now. Anne just wants to enjoy painting again. And if Zinchi Guy helps me to enjoy painting, I'm going to just work on Zinchi Guy. He's so cool. He says, I'm so cool. I actually left his little, I blue tacked on parts of him. His little headdress is blue tacked on because I wanted it primed, but I also wanted to be able to take it off so I could get his face easier. So alrighty, let's grab a little bit of this white, and I can essentially, oh, he's getting a little gooey up there on his with his blue tack. And I can come in and just pick up a little bit. And you need very, very little paint on your brush for this. To pick up these super, super fine details. But that brings up that area right there. Your head is blue tacked on. Yeah, I just felt like I wanted to be able to get at those feathers a little bit better. I wanted to get at the feathers on the top of his head a bit better without having to worry about getting past those horns, see? Because the feathers are going to be super fun. But then I wanted to be able to prime it all, so yeah. So I kept all the areas. That also keeps all the areas that I need to use the plastic cement on, you know, clean and not primed so that it'll work. Yeah. I'm kind of excited about his disc of Zinch. I've always wanted to paint a disc of Zinch, and I never have. I've just never had the model to do it, so now I'm all excited. So yeah, we're bringing up our white here. Keep bringing it up. The brighter we bring it up, the more this whole area will kind of punch out. The light will really show up strongly. Nico loves painting feathers and Quindy hates it. I think these are cool feathers though. Look how long and sweeping they are. They're going to be super fun to paint. Super duper fun to paint. This is my conviction. I'm sticking to it. I think I'll probably start with them actually. Actually, I'm going to start with his skin tone because he's going to have white skin tones with blue shadows. So I'm looking forward to that. Bluish purple shadows, maybe. We'll see. He's gonna be Zinchy, but I definitely want I want to throw some more like teals into the blue highlights. More like Thousand Suns kind of have that cyan like to teal highlight kind of on their blue armor. And I definitely want to go down to purple. So a lot of blue and purple. And I've got to think about where I want to put the pink. Because there will be pink accents for sure, because Zinch. I think the disc, the inner parts of the disc, might be like a pink to coral to salmon to orange kind of transition. It could be fun. I want to use bright colors on this one. This is Zinch model. You have to go super saturated with it. So I'm actually kind of excited, Bryce. I'm kind of excited. I don't often get to do like the horsey, right? I don't often get to do super hyper saturated colors. I feel like most of the time they're not appropriate for what I want to get out of a model, but this one. Hey Quindy, are you back on for this coming weekend for streaming? For my stream? Yeah, just honestly, just embrace the Zen, Kodiak. Embrace the Zen. Just enjoy how relaxed it makes you feel. Choose a model you really love. Just get cozy with it. Wear the softest jogging pants you have. The most comfy t-shirt you have. Get yourself some tea or some coffee. And just chill with your mini. Like that's my prescription. I think it's going to be awesome. I think this is going to be super fun, this model. Plays to my strengths, I think, so. That's always a good Good thing to have. Alright, so I've got kind of this. This belt is also a cylinder, but it's also flaring out, curving. So the light will tend to flare out with it. It starts to be narrow and then it comes down when you've got that kind of angle. So under this edge being an overhang edge. So I've got that. Just vibing, yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Sure, sure. Sounds good, Quindy. Turgeon, bite your tongue. For one thing, I'm not skipping writing, and I'm not skipping running, because I still have a terrifying 21K mountain race to race in October, thank you, and I would rather not die. That means training starts... That's keeping me going. That's, like, why I'm doing it. Like, I'm like, I must do my training. I must train every week. I must hit my workouts. Even though I'm, like, 10 months out. I know that if I let myself, like, start slacking, it's just the slacking is going to be, like, for real, the spiral of slack. And I don't want that. I want to do this race and feel good doing it. I want to have fun running in the mountains for 4 hours. Yeah, yep. Yay, electric blanket. Toasty legs. That's always the best. Alrighty. So we're just like doing, I blocked in where I wanted my main bulk of my highlights, and now it's like all darkening shadows and popping up highlights for NMM. With all of these little details. So that the details, and here on the front, these are all going to be green highlights, right? Because the horse's mane is right here. So this is going to have to be a moth green kind of highlight. Amazingly, even though I said this was going to be the last day to work on this model, we've gotten quite a bit done. Probably because this guy isn't too big, right? He's not super large. And again, the arm is another cylinder, so it's going to be kind of a line of highlight going up this way. Bubba's being a good girl. Are you being a good girl, Bubs? Yeah. Do you want to be let out again? Can you be trusted? Okay. You've been a very good girl. So I'll let you out. Look out. Look out for the big scary board. Alright, now I want you to be quiet, okay? Good girl. It's the end anyway. The end of stream anyway. So yeah, so Skeletor has moved along. We'll probably come back to Skeletor next fall, or this fall rather, to continue vibing with him and get his other side painted. So Skeletor would like to give you a salute for his last appearance. Remember, we're replacing him with Phase Cat. Phase Cat. Where we will do some pretty cool fur patterns. But tomorrow, we're on basing day. Crap, do I still have, like, do I need to sculpt more or do I need to bake this? I need to sculpt more. We haven't put any texture on or anything. So we need to finish our columns. We need to kind of resculpt the top because I decided to chop off a bunch of these, the basalt columns. So that this guy would fit better. So we are going to, my guess is we're going to concentrate on finishing the sculpting on this. And then after we've done that, we'll probably work on one of our other, maybe Turtle, because Turtle just takes us painting it. And there's some water involved in that. So we'll probably do Turtle Space, or at least start on it. Yep. That's my plan. That's my plan. And good. I think we're good. Are we good? We're good. Okay. That's the plan, and I will see you guys tomorrow. And I hope that you have a lovely day. Hopefully pretty chill day. Nothing too crazy, okay? Let's embrace the chill, everybody, for this week. It's cold here anyway. All right. Yes, have a lovely day, everybody. Have a great one. Stretch. Ooh. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Quindy, thanks for modding, and John. And I'll talk to you guys later. All right? Bye-bye.